Hello, hello. Is this thing on? Can you guys hear me okay? What's up, James? Thanks for the email, by the way. How's my mic? What's going on, Delulu? Quality from 1 to 10. How's the audio? Doing a bit of a test. What's up, Lisa? Good, okay. Jerry, how you doing? Does it sound better than it did before? Nice. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to hook up the studio mic anymore. I think it picks up too much. And I guess I'm going to stop ignoring the complaints. I'm a stubborn motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now. I'm sure my parents would tell you that. James is way better. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to stick with this. This is one of my new podcast mics that I grabbed about a month ago. The other mic is much better, but it's for like recording music, vocals and acoustic. You know, you can put it like over a piano or something and or an acoustic guitar. So it's really good for that kind of stuff. What's up, Teresa? Jerry says a 10. All right, I guess we'll stick with this mic. Oh, Funkarella, I'm sorry to hear that. Hang in there. It's one of my greatest fears. I can't handle death very well. So I think about that constantly. So I'm sorry to hear about your father. I don't know if I can cheer you up. Kind of have like a bit of a stomach bug. I had some spaghetti and meatballs, and then a couple hours later, just like, man, fucked me up pretty good. I told my wife it was food poisoning. She thinks it's gas. I think she might be right. Not to gross anybody out, but I've been like burping it up. Oh, and that's the only thing that really makes me feel better. So she might be right. And it's those nasty ones where you just know something's wrong, you know. When things don't smell right, you're just like, "Oh man, something's not quite right." What's going on? Necessary evil. Karen Hick, it's good to see you. Teresa, smartass. Listening to your live. Hello. Okay, what were you doing up until that point? Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it has to be gas, you know, like indigestion or something. But I'm such a pussy when it comes to that stuff. My wife pains and I'm just like incapacitated by indigestion, crying like a little bitch. That's funny. Here, I think I need to adjust this. I keep like bumping it. Here, let's put it on mute first. All right. Hopefully that fixed it. How does that sound, you guys? Does that sound okay? Hey, Pipers. You're damn right about that, Pipers. My wife is way tougher than me. Probably kick my ass too. Let's just say I don't fuck around. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, James. Didn't that recent release of Libby's video cause quite a buzz? Quite a buzz amongst the I don't know, I guess you'd call it a community. The Delphi community. What a weird thing. Charles says Osbrook done stole my shit. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Funkarella says Delphi's turning into the Karen Reed debacle. I love that word. I love the word debacle and debauchery. No one is guilty anymore. Yeah, it's crazy. It's this weird disconnect I'm noticing. I think it's an attribute to a personality type, I think. It's a litmus test. Kind of like politics, right? You have Democrats, Republicans. Really, they're just trying to figure out what method. They're trying to divide us so they know which method to use to manipulate what we do. Kind of see that here in the true crime community as well. Tribalism. James says Richard Allen is still guilty and always will be. Well, I just don't know what to make of the folks that I mean, they're looking at the video and they're trying to say that it's like their eyes are playing tricks on them or something. Either that or mine are. I have a pretty keen eye. I always have. Pretty sure it's not me. Necessary evil, and he's on the panel teaching everyone how to measure BG height. Okay, I see where this is going. Oh, here's something I found. Well, actually, somebody sent it to me. I can't remember. If you're here, shout out to you. But then I found more. This is the sound of a P226. This isn't the one they sent me, but I found a better copy. But shout out to them either way.
Going to.
So this is basically the sound of a P226. Same gun as Richard Allen.
Look at this paper on my left.
So did you guys hear that?
And left.
There's that version, and then you can have the hammer kind of already half cocked and then locked to where all you got to do is hit this lever and it'll load a bullet into the chamber. It actually makes a really loud sound. Let's hear that. I think that could be what happened right on the south end of the bridge. Talking about. Hello. So you see how it's kind of half cocked right now and it's locked in position? All you have to do is lift up your thumb. I don't know what this lever here is called. Release lever? I don't know, the release. And you can actually holster your weapon like this. I don't know if many would do that. There you go. Slide release. Thanks, Frank. So with that in mind, let's go back to the audio of that. And I'm going to zoom kind of towards the end.
Hi. Hi.
Here, let's turn that up a little bit.
Hi. Hi.
I'm not going far enough.
Hi. Hi.
There it is. Very distinct sound.
Hi. Hi.
Guys,
Hi.
guys,
Hi.
left, left, and
Hi. 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 Hi.
I'll let you guys decide. Yeah, they don't want to come in here. Mata comes over here, but me and Bob have a lot in common. Just not our beliefs about the case. But a lot of other stuff. Yeah, necessary. The evidence just kind of points to that, in my opinion. I don't see anything to support that necessary. I haven't seen any information that would lead me to believe that. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying nothing's pointing in that direction for me anyway. Thank you, James. Slide, release, lever, you guys. Ozzy Beagle Adventures. Here's 2 clicks. Good to see you in here, Ozzy. Define mechanical sound, not leaves. Here, let's try it again. I mean, you can hear it. Here, let's listen to the whole thing and then just wait for that part at the end.
See, this is the path that we go down.
Okay, real quick, I want to show you the difference. You can hear the rocks and the twigs breaking here. So you can actually compare the two.
See, this is the path that we go down.
So that's what it sounds like when a branch is breaking right there. Sounds like a pretty big twig.
There's no path going there, so we have to go down here.
guys,
Hi. 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 Hi.
guys,
Or rocks, you know, if you're going to hear the sound of a twig breaking, you're also going to hear the sound of rocks moving and leaves crunching. And then you're going to hear the snap of the twig. Here, you don't hear any of that because the girls are completely frozen. They're staring at what sounds like a gun. Yeah. And that's just my opinion. What is up, Stephanie? Yes, Stephanie, he's a liar. He's a big bad guy. Let's go wasting all of our energy hating all these people that do weird stuff. Good to see you, Boston, CJK. Well, my main theory always was organized crime, disorganized victims. Yeah, and the victims can kind of lead the crime flow in a different direction, you know, like a variable. You plan out the perfect crime, doesn't mean it's going to work out perfectly for you. But I do believe after watching that video that Abby and Libby were definitely frozen with fear. Because I believe that they were there to meet somebody and they were set up. And at that very moment, right at that down the hill, you can almost see Abby comply. She's just like, okay, like I'm happy to. Maybe if we go down here, you know, some other opportunities will open up because there ain't shit for us up here. Might be able to get down there to that road and then just take off running. Yeah, we really don't know. It almost sounds like he just pulls it back and kind of lets it fly forward really quick. Some people like to control the speed of that, but it just sounds like he was trying to be very intimidating. There's a new kid in town. I don't want to hear it. That's what that reminds me of. Not one time, Teresa. Yeah, I'll agree with that, Delulu. Definitely bias. Definitely bias for sure. We can agree on that all day long. Christine, what up? What's going on, Neil? That's definitely a gun racking after he says guys. And it would make sense, right? Like, hey, these girls are looking at me and they don't really understand what I'm here to do. I need to make it clear that I mean them harm. And if they don't do what I say, it'll make it worse for them. I think they froze and did whatever he told them to do right after that point in time. I don't think there was any fight or flight. I think it was just completely frozen. And hoping for the best. and they got the worst. Yeah, this ain't no toy gun. Like, I mean business. And I think they were really afraid of what might happen, and that was just confirmation. Like, all of your fears are being realized at that moment. No more nervous talk, no more this. Now it's just completely petrified. Yep, he lost control. We know that he has a dependent personality disorder. You know, just rides around on Kathy's leg. Come on, boy. Self-proclaimed sex addict. I don't remember law enforcement finding any evidence of that. So is he lying? Why would he just throw that out there? Mentioned cheating on his wife. You know, when is this all happening? I thought he was just a family man and worked at CVS, you know? Where does he find the time to be a sex addict and cheat on little Kathy? Well, it sounds like there's a lot more to Ricky than you guys know, right? Christine says, just got here. Something spooked Libby to film, and Abby was so scared. True friends, Libby waited for her. What spooked them? Yeah, she filmed it. Everybody's like, what the hell? Why did they start filming right here? And why did they stop right here? This is very suspicious. Not if you're not a fucking moron. If you have a guy right behind your best friend, and you can obviously tell that he has bad intentions, you're going to film it. And then when he gets right up to you, you're going to hide that shit. This isn't rocket science. Maybe it is. Maybe there is a little rocket science to all this. Yeah, she's trying to find out where the hell to go. She's not thinking she's about to be murdered. She just knows some creepy guy's coming. I need to work with Abby here to figure out what we're going to do. Like, we got to go down there, Abby. This is our only choice. Because it's not likely that this guy's going to kill us. But we can't go that way because that's trespassing. But if we go down the hill, I don't think he'll follow us. But by then, here comes the gun. Boom, guys. And he's addressing them directly. He's like, yep, guess what? Your worst fears just became reality. Go down that hill. And you're telling me that Richard Allen was just out for a hike, enjoying this, you know, he went out to look at the fish, remember? Like Koberger. I went out to look at the stars. Is that against the law? Is it against the law, guys, to look at the stars? No, not at all. What's going on, Kelly? Pathetic little troll. He is kind of a pathetic little troll. Mr. Dependent Personality Disorder. Mr. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Mr. Sex Addict. Mr. Size 6. Sleuthintuition@gmail.com, Michael. Dark side, what? I don't know necessarily. Maybe that's what he was doing that day. Maybe he considered what he was doing cheating. You know, catfishing 2 young girls for the purposes of sexual assault. You might be able to classify that as cheating if you're married. Control is everything to them. Bad man. I had to meet with such a true coward. I agree with that, necessary evil. I always felt like it was her idea for him to kind of get in front of things. You know, after you sit down and you kind of map out all the possible, you know, cause and effect, all the different scenarios that might happen, they might have came to the understanding like, hey, we need to come forward. Let me check out this. Hold on a moment. I'm going to pull up this email. There's a new kid in town. I don't want to hear it. Let me download this real quick. Let's do that. I don't know. That one kind of sounds like a twig. But you do have to be careful because even if you take the audio of an actual P226 and you start shaving off certain parts of the sound, you know, you're going to change the actual dynamic. Yeah, where is Voorhees? He's probably lurking. I think it's trash day at Camp Crystal Lake. You ever messed around on trestles? You know you're not going to pass somebody in a bridge. You just don't usually do that. I mean, and if you do, it's probably somebody that you know that you're there with. But you're always going to have like a paranoia about somebody possibly pushing you or bumping into you. So it's not natural. Definitely if you don't know them and you're a kid. I mean, for all we know, they were trying to get off the bridge and he started coming towards them and they were like, oh shit, what do we do? Like, we don't want to go past him. If we pass by him, what if he throws me off the bridge? Well, let's just walk, you know, we'll take him out into deep waters and we'll see what happens. Thanks, Boston. Thanks for the support. You're welcome. Thank you. I think I'm further down here. She Warrior, what is up? What's up, Neil? Richard Allen has been a creeper hanging around that bridge for many, many years, looking for his opportunity. I don't know. I think he's been there enough that if he was sitting around with a few other creeps just like himself, he might interject some information about, the Monon High Bridge. Why don't we have them meet us there? We'll have them cross the bridge and we can kind of trap them back there. That had to have been somebody's idea, right? Whose idea was that? Well, who was Kagan Klein's step brother at one point says that Kagan Klein's father used to take them fishing down there. They would come to the Monon High Bridge, hike down, and go fishing below the bridge. So that means that you have two men potentially working together, coming up with this idea and agreeing on it because they both have knowledge of that area. And if you listen to serial killers, they'll tell you that. The ones that have cooperated with law enforcement and were willing to give insight into why and how they targeted and things like that, they would say, yeah, this killer is probably knows the area, chose the area because there is a water source, and most likely because they're comfortable with that area. Which makes me feel like this was a premeditated crime that much more, just knowing that he was very familiar with that area, all of the supporting information. Some of the other actors were familiar, potential actors, some of the names that have come up. If you see a young girl taking a long time to cross because she's scared, you would wait. So that alone would alarm them, I think. Yep. And if he has this kind of vibe going on where, so Abby's struggling on the bridge, and then all of a sudden you see this guy just coming straight at you. It almost gives you the feeling that the fact that she's struggling is what's bringing him, attracting him out there. So that's going to spook him for sure. I just don't understand why Richard Allen is hanging around on the bridge. Betsy Blair sees him. She leaves, and then now he's off the bridge. Like, what is he doing? She said it looked like he was waiting for somebody. He thought those girls were Abby and Libby. I think when he saw them walking, it's almost as if he thought that was them. Remember he gave them a dirty look? So he parks at the CPS building and he was just going to go get them right there. And then he's like, oh, no, that's not them. Goes all the way to the bridge, is waiting around, takes off his mask, starts smoking a cigarette. Betsy Blair shows up, gets a really good look at him from afar. Doesn't know he's a killer. No reason to, to take note of his, the description of his clothing, his facial features, any of that. She's just going to do her best later to recall. So she leaves, and then he leaves that area. So why is he coming back now that Abby and Libby are there? Why would he come check out the bridge, leave the bridge, and then come back? Crash override. The McGurk effect. Yeah, pareidolia is real. It is real. It's a real thing. Hell yeah, she warrior. I'd be like, damn, what's this dude up to? You know, I think it would make me nervous too. Like, wow, all it would take would be like a little scuffle up here and somebody could fall. I'm just naturally paranoid about stuff. I'm always expecting the unexpected. It's just something I've kind of trained myself to do. Like I'm always watching my back. It's just something that I do naturally. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Jason, Michael are awesome. Yeah, they got a lot in common. I'm pretty sure one is based off the other. Carbon copies. Thanks, Karen. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're just hanging out, having a little chat, a little true crime chat. Nothing too serious. Well, apparently he's a sex addict, Delulu. I think it was something he wanted to do, planned to do for a long time. I think somebody presented him with the idea of it, and I think there was money attached to it, and it made him very excited. I think he became aroused by it. I think he was extremely excited. The thought of a thrill kill with a that's sexually motivated, something that he possibly helped plan out. He may have even been the one who kind of forced it. Like, I think if it was a group of people, you know, they were ready to do it and they were okay with it. As long as he was the one that went up on the bridge, like, hey, if you're willing to go up there and trap them and bring them over here to us, yeah, we'll do it. He's like, hell yeah, I'm going to do this shit. And then that's why the witnesses kind of reported him being so weird. His adrenaline was probably just fucking pumping. You know, I'm getting my power back. I'm sick of people calling me Little Ricky. I'm not little. You're little. You know, just like a madman. Everything coming to a boil. I just think that they came up with this plan and he was going to make sure that they did it. Nothing was stopping him. Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point, Delulu. Let's pull that shit up. That is an excellent point. He looked at her like, you dumb. Like, he was like, you stupid fucking. Like, he was just so mad. Like, how dare you fucking embarrass me? Like, you can tell he doesn't like to be embarrassed. There's nothing wrong with being embarrassed. And she's like, ha, 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 ha. You know, just kind of like poking at him. Like, you're always doing something creepy. That's why I'm always creeping up on you. Oh, I think I have it in a file titled Richard Allen Fitz description. Yep, there it is. Damn, look at me all organized and shit. His little crossword puzzles. Maybe he had his little phone right here. His little burner phone. It's a nice jacket you got there, buddy. That don't look like no Carhartt to me. He's like, who is this creeping up on me? Oh shit, it's Mike Patty. Oh, it's just you. That look right here. There's the bridge guy. There he is. Look at those Kohlberger eyes. There you are. There you are, Peter. Curious Contrarian. Welcome on in. Olivia, too. Did I miss anybody? Miranda. Uh-oh. Better run, Michael. You got to take it with a grain of salt. That's for sure. Fishy. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. He don't like that. Miranda says sexual sadist. Yeah, I mean, that's by definition that, that's what it would mean. If he's getting sexually aroused by the thought of luring, trapping, and assaulting two young girls, yeah, that's exactly what he is. If I'm correct, right? What was Ricky doing in there? Is he reading? He sees somebody coming. Look, he's like, oh shit, somebody's creeping up on me with the phone. Damn, I'm busted. Ah! Oh shit. He says something like, fuck. Oh, it's just you. Look at that terror in his eyes. He thought it was Mike Patty. Look at that. There you are, bridge guy. He looks like he has a black eye, too. What's up with that? Oh, no, that's from the phone. See this little dark spot right here? Kind of moves over his eye. Makes it look black. Or no, maybe not. Oh, no, that is his eye. Look, he has a black eye. Get that shit. She beats him. Hey, Cold Truth. Mel is in the building. What's up, Mel? Thank you, Boston. Shout out to Cold Truth and Boston Christian. Yeah, dude has a black eye. Where the hell did he get that from? I thought he was just a poor little CVS family man. No, that's not a black guy. That is her hair. But I'm pretty sure that is the bridge guy jacket right there. And it does not look like a Carhartt jacket. So if he just committed a murder in a jacket that's not a Carhartt jacket, you think somebody with a little bit of intelligence would say, well, yeah, I was wearing a Carhartt jacket because that's the one that I still have in my closet that wasn't at the crime scene. And if you look at the bridge guy video, it kind of looks like the guy is wearing a Carhartt. I'm telling you, you guys, these types of people, they're tricky. They are tricky. And that's why a lot of these idiots kind of give them so much sympathy because they've been tricked. They've been duped. And it's hard to blame them. You have to give, these manipulators a little bit of the credit for that. Well, that doesn't sound healthy, Fishy. Like, I'm ready to leave. You're still going to go shopping? Like, you're going to go make me sit in the car? That just doesn't seem healthy. Darkseid says now he really has to worry about someone sneaking up on him. Yeah, he was scared, huh? Let's watch that again from the beginning. Hey! Put your pecker away. You sex addict. Angry little man. You can't talk about Ricky Bay like that. Look at that look. It's all over. That's the look he was giving Holman when they were searching his home. I guess it's all over, he said. What does it matter? It's all over anyway. See? He's been waiting. He was waiting for that day. Oh shit, it's Jerry Holman. No, it's just you. Fucking around again. Those are dark circles from being up online all night. I don't think, maybe on his burner phone or on some kind of laptop that he no longer has. I mean, he definitely could have gotten rid of a whole lot of shit. He may have even gotten his power back. Remember? He gained control. Somebody needs to make that a GIF right there. Yeah, Stephanie, all of them, they think they're smart. people always ask, well, why would he call in his own tip? Why would he call, the cops on himself? Because after going over it a million times in his head and thinking about everything that happened, how they can tie him to the case, how they can tie him to the crime scene, and well, it's the witnesses. If I don't come forward, they're going to suspect me. So if I come forward, I'll be hiding in plain sight. They'll never suspect little old Ricky. Nobody ever sees me coming. I'll wear my smallest boots. I'll wear my high heels. Yeah. From my understanding, a lot of prisoners who are locked up in solitary confinement will smear feces on the wall or kind of play in it. But from my understanding, only the really violent ones will eat the pudding. Oh, very easy, Karen. Remember, Kathy said he was asleep when she got home. For all we know, he left right around 4, went straight to Peru, and came back. You guys hold that thought. I'm going to go grab me some water. My throat's getting dry. Alrighty, I'm back. What I miss? Hey, what's going on, Mark? Welcome in. Are you going to do another image video analysis with the new footage, Sleuth? Did you already? Kind of, yeah. I'm working on it right now. I'm stabilizing the entire video. It's just going to take me forever because I'm doing it frame by frame by frame. And I'm doing it manually. I'm not using any software to do it. So it's kind of tedious. I'm probably 25% done already. Sure, I'll have it finished by tomorrow. What's up, Melissa? A dream sequence. So let's take a closer look at that blue jacket. And I don't believe that this is a Carhartt. Kind of looks like, I mean, it could be. I mean, it's possible. I had a better one where you can actually see the straps down by the hands. What's up, Presence? Frustrating after waiting all these years, the trial wasn't televised. What's up, Lynn? How long does it take to cross the bridge? It depends on who you ask. I seen Anthony Greeno do it in like a little over 3 minutes, but he was zooming. Rick Snay has a video crossing the bridge, and he does it pretty quick. So I would say on average, I think it took the bridge guy less than 5 minutes to cross that bridge. So it took Abby 15 minutes and him only 5 minutes. That's how he was able to catch up to them. That's how he was able to kidnap them. Fishy, even if he has a burner phone or whatever, why didn't they tell us where his phone was at? His actual phone. Also, well, they don't have it. They weren't able to pull the data off of it. Also, I heard the Packers place was within the geofence. That would be, yeah, the Packers isn't going to be in the geofence. It's going to be a very small area. You can't get a search warrant for that big of an area. It's got to be a very specific area. But as far as your first question, even if he has a burner phone or whatever, why didn't they tell us where his phone? Well, they need the phone so they can pull the data out of it, the digital forensics. Is it possible he traded his phone in? Yeah. Is that what I think happened? No. All I know is that he was on a phone and that wasn't his own personal phone. I mean, all these Richard Allen supporters, they don't talk about these types of things. You know, they don't talk about when his home was getting searched and he's talking to Jerry Holman. He's saying, well, I don't care. It's over anyway. Like, what the fuck does that mean? He's not talking about, oh, you know, I'm going to be shamed in Delphi. By what? His two neighbors that are watching it go down that he can explain everything to? How is it all over? It wasn't all over for the Bicycle Bridge Road search warrant. It wasn't all over for the Webbers after they searched their home. I guess it kind of was all over for Ron Logan. But then again, we're still talking about Ron Logan. Yeah, I would say around 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. If you're able-bodied. Plus, wasn't Alan sort of obsessed with the bridge? I don't know if he was obsessed with the bridge, but his defense team stated, I think it was in the Franks memo, it was in something that they filed, where they said, and I believe the word was frequented, that Richard Allen frequented the trails. So that means they sat down with Richard Allen and he told them, yeah, I go there all the time. Okay, well, if he goes there all the time, might be the reason why he would plan an abduction and well, I don't know if he planned to murder him, maybe planned a sexual assault. Would explain why he would choose that location. The FBI, they said, well, why Delphi? Why this? Why that? Well, the suspect is the answer to those questions. Why Abby and Libby? Why Delphi? Why this? Why that? Well, that's for Richard Allen to answer. Why did you select that? Well, he selected them for a reason. Reasons that he felt benefited him in some way to get to his goal. Yep, she had her high school, I think it was her graduation photos. It was either her graduation photos or homecoming or something, but I'm leaning towards graduation. What's up, Louise? What's going on with you? Welcome in. Yeah, they don't talk about any of that. They don't like the flavor of those pancakes. Those pancakes have butter on them. They have syrup, even some strawberries. It's really good for you. It's healthy. It's healthy pancakes to a certain extent. Their pancakes are like all dry. They're homemade, but the mixture wasn't really quite mixed together correctly. The ingredients aren't all there. And they just keep making them and piling them till they reach the sky. But it's not about quantity. It's about quality. I mean, think about it, Funkarella. It's not on his dime. It's on Indiana's dime. He doesn't care. It's like, hey, if you guys want, let's do this, whatever. We're going to run it till the wheels fall off. It ain't my money. Makes me look innocent. And also has a very small chance of me getting off. Let's go for it. It's not my money. And you're telling me there's a small chance that I might go free? Fuck it. Let's appeal this shit. I mean, why not? There's only an upside for him. Hey, what's up, Davey? Says he probably timed himself going across that bridge and kept doing it. I don't know if he timed himself, but I bet you that he would try to go faster and faster each time, or he was kind of he knew that he was comfortable on that bridge. He may not have timed himself, but he knew that he could cross it quickly and has before. Cold Truth. Didn't they find his phones prior to 2/13/17 and after, but just so happened to not save the one when he was killing? Yeah, he had all these. He was a pack rat when it came to all his other phones, but the one phone that's in question is mysteriously gone. And I think during the interview, he said something along the lines of, I think Kathy recycled it. And I mean, that could be true. It's possible. Is that what I think happened? No, not at all. I think he got rid of that shit, or he has it hidden. I don't know. I just have a feeling there wasn't anything on his actual personal phone anyway. I think he was trying to create an alibi just like KK was. But it didn't work out for him. He he had to play the riskiest part in this whole ordeal. And I think he wanted it the most. Out of the whole group that was out there that day, he was the one that made sure that it was going to happen. It was more important to him. They were down and they were ready. But they weren't going to go out on that bridge. They weren't going to go through that cold water. But he was. I'm not a pussy. Stop calling me Little Ricky. I'll show you. I'll show you what I can do. I'll deliver those girls right to you. I'll cross that bridge. I'll pull the gun out on them. I'll kidnap them and I'll bring them right here. You'll see. What's up, Brett? Brett Decker. Good to see you, man. Delulu says, I saw Snake saying he sends Alan letters. Imagine you're locked up and your only source of entertainment is letters from idiots like that. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's true. It's bloodier. It's more personal. It's more hands-on. Yeah, I agree with that. I concur. Yeah, he's a violent motherfucker. He's got a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. Well, they're missing a underwear, a sock, and apparently a phone and a knife. Cold Truth says, I'm so sick of hearing how Ricky is innocent. They act like he's their daddy. It is fucking weird. They're weird. I'm telling you, it's a litmus test. Who has a firm grasp on basic fundamentals and who does not? You want to find out? What's your opinion on the Delphi murders? Oh, Richard Allen's innocent. Oh, well, you're a dumbass. That was easy. It's not, he might be innocent, or man, they didn't really have a whole lot of evidence. I'm not convinced it's him. He's innocent and he's Ricky Bay. Right? There's a difference between I'm not quite sure. I feel like he deserves another trial. You know, he most likely is the bridge guy or involved. But you know what? After all these people who have been put in prison and were found innocent, we need more to convict him. That I can respect. You know, because I agree with that to an extent. Because there have been a lot of falsely accused people whose lives were ruined, time they could never get back. So it's a real thing. You know, you always have that as a possibility. So it's important to be careful, because that you could be in that position one day, you know, where you're being falsely accused and everybody's demonizing you and calling you a monster. The question is that what's happening here? No, it's not. It's just because it's a certain type of people. They're not, like, I'm not a smart guy or anything like that, but I'm not that stupid, right? I'm not that stupid to listen to that video that just came out. Listen to the original that's unedited. You don't hear any whispering. You don't hear anything. And then you listen to the edited version where they've actually edited the audio and pulled things out, made things louder, and it's going to play tricks on your mind. But they're not even taking that into consideration because they're stupid. And like I said, I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, but I'm not that fucking stupid. Oh my God, there's whispering behind her. Do you hear that? You do realize if you take audio from the distance and increase the volume it's going to sound like somebody's whispering nearby, not from a distance. I mean, it's like you can't grasp onto that for some reason. And it goes the same with these upward angles. People, it's like their brain can't figure it out. Like, nope, that person's tall. I don't care what you say. It's like they don't understand what it means to have an upward angle and how it can play a trick on the mind. It's those weird little nuanced things that some people just don't grasp and they go ham on it. And to me, it's just an indication of who they are. It's a litmus test of what kind of a person they are. Oh, well, Sleuth, you just listen to the prosecution. You just buy into everything that they say. How many times do I have to say on this channel, we're not pro-prosecution, we're not pro-law enforcement. We've covered hundreds of cases where people were falsely accused. And we're going to continue to do that because it happens and it's a travesty. But it's safe to say that's not what's happening to Richard Allen. Mr. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. I mean, that's not normal, guys. Saying, oh, well, it's all over anyway, Mr. Holman. What the fuck does it matter? Who cares where my wife is? Who cares about any of this? It's all over now anyway. Oh, well, we're not going to think about that. That makes him look guilty. Lynn, I think they could apply the death penalty. Especially if they find other suspects. Hell yeah. It's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping they find out what the hell actually happened and fry these motherfuckers. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yep, there it is. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of bullshit. It's jumping the gun, jumping to conclusions, being eager to allow things to fit into their narrative. You know, they're not, you should be playing devil's advocate against yourself, like Fishy does. You know, she's very critical when it comes to things like that. You should be more like Fishy. She's not saying that she believes these things, but if she doesn't ask those questions, how can she trust that she's being honest with herself? And I respect that because I'm the same way. But when you're part of a cult, you don't do that. You don't play devil's advocate with anything. You hear anything that fits into your little dialectic and you just add it in there. You know, you throw it in there. It's like you're sewing a quilt together. And if it doesn't fit your pattern, you throw it out. Oh, that's not going to fit. And then you just ignore anything that goes against it. And it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong because you're part of a cult, you know, and you're protected by that type of think. That cult think. I get it. I get it, Fishy. I'm the same way. I need to believe it. I need to work through it. I need to look at it from every angle, especially when we don't know. You can't just close your eyes and play pin the tail on the donkey. Like, yeah, okay, well, we're going to stick with that. No, I need to know why that is. How did you get there? Because I'm not going to jump. You know, I'm not going to jump from building to building. I need there to be some kind of a walkway or some kind of a, dare I say, bridge. But I'm not going to be jumping to make things fit. And that's what these folks do. And while they do that and they get deeper into the cult, they have their shame. They have no shame. You know, oh, Becky did this. Becky's evil. Mike, Patty, Kelsey, Cody. You know, like, how dare you guys? It's fucking weird. Yeah, where's Spider-Man when you need him? I feel like some of these people think they're Spider-Man. They're just like, you know, swinging from one building to the next. No way that's Richard Allen on that bridge. Like, what? What are you talking about? Crazy. If you isolated Abby on that bridge, she would look 6 feet tall with the angle that Libby's filming from. If you never known her, never seen her image, never knew about the Delphi case, and somebody just cropped her out of that photo and showed it to one of those knuckleheads, they would say, oh my goodness, that girl must be 6'3". Yep, I'd bet my life on it. And then ask him, how tall is Tom Cruise? Like 7'2". At least. Van Life Northwest. Sleuth, would you ever consider going to Delphi to see the scene in person, maybe gain some insight on how everything went down? Yeah, I would love to. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Yep, he's 7 feet tall. Obviously. What are you? Open your eyes. I get these comments all the time. Open your eyes, man. I'm 5'10", and the bridge guy's at least 6'2", man. Open your eyes. It's like, okay, dude. All I can say is good luck with that. That's my new thing. Good luck with that. Good luck. I mean, Abby doesn't look 5'5" here. Isn't she like 5'5", 5'4", 5'5"? She looks taller than that. And I just want you guys to look at that jacket. Let's pull up that jacket we had up earlier. Let's do a little comparison. shall we? All right, just bear with me a moment. Stand by. I need like some elevator music. And remember, this is the jacket right here that he's wearing. This is around November, December of 2016, just before the murders. Yeah, that's your first mistake, right, Delulu? Is expecting ethical behavior. That's why I don't argue with those people. They don't care if they're right or wrong. Whatever furthers the narrative, whatever furthers the cult's agenda, because that's where they thrive. That's where everything's okay. As long as I follow these certain rules and I don't go against the cult, I won't get shunned. Oh yeah, that guy's so tall. Like here, let me show you a better video. I think this is why nobody's really getting it. They don't have the stabilized video. Like this version right here will show you the fact that Libby was most definitely only filming because of this man. She wasn't taking some video. She wasn't narrating a video for a friend. She was documenting what she knew to be a crime happening or about to happen. So this is a very helpful video because it shows you like how she's walking away, but she still has the camera kind of pointed behind her. And she's like trying to get, and you can also see the angle. If you want to see how much of an angle that is, let me see if I can find this video for you. Might help you understand a little better. So she's standing down here in this area. You see how much lower it is? Like once you step off the bridge, you're probably about at least 2 feet. So if you're 2 feet below the people that are on the bridge and then you have the camera down by your elbow, So you can kind of see how she's like walking down this way. She's very low and she has the phone low at about her elbow. So it's quite the drastic upward angle. That's why Abby looks so tall. Look how tall she looks. She looks like she's about 5'10" right there. Well, that's the reason that the bridge guy looks like he's about 5'10". Those are Bill's legs. Nice legs, Bill. Maybe we can slow this down a little bit. Let's try 60. 33, I mean. Yeah, it's upsetting, Miranda. I had a few people go, "Oh, that's Cody." Like, do you really believe that? All right, guys. I think this will be our 5-minute warning. I think this was a good part 2. So if you guys have anything to add, do it now. I want to give another shout out to Boston and Mel from Cold Truth. You guys rock. Thank you for sponsoring today's live stream. Appreciate the support. I definitely need it. Dark side. Yeah, that's disgusting, Miranda. Mike Patty has an alibi. Well, I mean, they don't even believe the crime happened. Like, when they're not even convinced that it happened on the 13th at 2:13. They're so lost. Remember, I was talking to one of these nut jobs, and they weren't even convinced Richard Allen was even there that day. It's like, how do you debate somebody like that? I'm not even sure if this is real right now. We're in a simulation, so what does it matter? And also, one of the questions that comes up, wouldn't Kathy recognize that man? on the bridge? Well, I mean, you guys are struggling with this, you know. Why wouldn't she struggle with it? Here, let me put this back up there. You know, you're looking at this video right here, and a lot of you are saying, well, this person's 5'10". She's going to say, well, my husband's a little short guy. He's only 5'5", 5'4". It's obvious the guy on the bridge is tall. Thanks, Van Life. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So if half of you out there can't even tell how tall this guy is, you think he's a tall man. So why wouldn't Kathy think that? Especially if her subconscious is kind of nudging her. You know, that's not my husband. No way that's him. He told me he wasn't on the bridge. He has a jacket like that, but I've seen hundreds of people with that jacket. You know, Ron Logan wears a blue jacket. That looks like everybody in Delphi. So people are like, well, if that was Richard Allen, Kathy would be able to identify him. Well, you guys already know who Richard Allen is, and you still can't identify him. Your brain cannot register this upward angle that she's filming from. You're limited. I just don't think you should be sleuthing if you get caught up on that. So if law enforcement put out the video and they wanted to scrunch him up a little bit, that might have been the reason for it. They may have been adjusting for this weird angle that you have here, because you really don't have a frame of reference without Abby being in the shot. You know, there's really nothing to compare it to. You can do your best. What's going on, Redfoot? Good to see you. You caught us on the tail end, buddy. How you doing? Delulu. Well, that's what they did with Richard Allen. You know, NASA's they're full of Freemasons. So is Disney. Walt Disney is a 33rd degree Freemason. They even have a Masonic lodge at Disney. So it would explain why they sent this video to NASA and Disney, so that they can put this bridge guy in the video. It's really just some animation that they created of some guy that they seen out on the trails. Maybe Abby and Libby took this video of the bridge guy, of Richard Allen, while he was out there without his knowledge, and then NASA and Disney added it in to Libby's video. Yep, I figured it out. Because, I mean, Nick, he's a Freemason. Brad Holder's a Freemason. It all makes sense. Duh. It's obvious. It's obvious. A bunch of sneaky white people. Bunch of sneaky white folks. Wearing aprons, running around the woods in the middle of the day. Or they were all in Brad Weber's van. And then Brad Weber picked him up in the van and took him to the shoe tree area, and they had a ceremony. And then Mike Patty came back later because he was part of the ceremony, and he somehow faked his alibi, came back and dumped the bodies where they were found when he brought out the canoes. You guys don't know shit about the Delphi murders. Miranda, don't joke like this. People will think you're telling the truth. They're like, finally, Sleuth gets it. I knew he'd come around. I was counting on it. What was the latest one I saw today? Oh yeah, some idiot said that Garrett Kurtz's phone was pinging in the geofence. I mean, it just doesn't end. They just lie. I'm just gonna make shit up. I'm just gonna fling some shit like Ricky does. And hopefully somebody will eat it. Well, not me. Redfoot says, I live in an old 1930s Freemason building. I swore I thought this place was haunted when I moved in, but I think the ghosts finally got tired of my shit and moved. Yeah, ghosts are pretty much cool for the most part. It's the poltergeists. You know, you don't want to say Beetlejuice. Have another donation? I do? Oh, yeah, I gave a shout out to Van Life. Thanks again, Van Life. Yeah, it's so weird. No, what was the other stupid shit I heard about this video? Oh, that somehow this video was taken before the 205 Snapchat upload. See, people can't grasp the simple shit. They found this video on Libby's phone. The Snapchat photos were screenshotted by a friend and sent to law enforcement. They didn't come from her phone. Do you guys understand how Snapchat works? You upload something and then it vanishes. It's gone. That's why they don't know what was said between Libby and Anthony Schatz, because they were using Snapchat. You guys, it's not rocket science. The P226, it's not that common of a weapon. It's common for early military and early law enforcement. It's a very reliable gun, but it's not common. It's more it's a little expensive, really, for what you get. I mean, you're better off with the Glock or something like that, the Beretta or the 1911, if you can get a good deal on it. But it's very expensive for what it is, but it's reliable. It's a reliable gun. But I don't know if I would call it common. I think at one point it was very common, like in the 90s with law enforcement and military. That might even be where Richard Allen got that gun. He may have gotten it while he was in the military. I think it may have been issued at one point. But don't quote me on that. Yeah, it's more common in military circles. That and law enforcement for sure. But just gun owners, I wouldn't say common. Especially not today. The price point is just kind of off. Yeah, it's just expensive. Spring Armory. I was like 8mm. Why not 7? You know? That's where the information about the 40 caliber was leaked. The person who leaked that was Julie Melvin. She leaked it, and a month later, Richard Allen was arrested. So I feel like it was that piece of information that may have forced their hand. And there may be some corruption going on. None that I can see. I don't see any evidence of it. But I feel like there might be some with the lost tip, trying to salvage what they could with the case, you know, before it was totally lost. Hoping that Richard Allen would kind of tell them everything that happened. But now we know why. He's got a dependent personality disorder and he's attached to his wife. And her brother had just passed away just a few months before this incident. And things weren't going so well for them, from what I understand. So if Crazy Rick, we know he's crazy now for sure. He's a nut job. If he's going through a hard time right before the crime, doesn't that seem to fit with the timeline? You have a tragedy, multiple issues, stressors. You're having problems within your marriage. You know, the person that you're dependent on doesn't want to even fucking talk to you, doesn't want to fuck with you. So that leaves you to your inhibitions and out there reconnecting with old friends, possibly the Kleins, perhaps. They couldn't find a connection between them because they're old friends. You need to go back, go way back to 98. Or excuse me, 89. That's where you'll find the connection. I heard good things about Springfield. I don't think I've ever shot one. Absolutely. He wouldn't be out there on that bridge chasing those girls if he wasn't. Delulu says, but they were high school sweethearts. Surely their marriage was perfect. Honestly, I have two very solid sources, one in Mexico and one in Peru, family members. I'm not going to say of who, related to the Allens. They tell me that they were not high school sweethearts, that they didn't really start dating for real until shortly after high school, like right after. But that they were just friends. And that Kathy was actually friends with Tony Klein. And don't forget, Kagan Klein's mom grew up in Mexico. And Keegan Klein's cousin, whose daughter's name is Emily Ann, lived right around the corner from Richard Allen while he was living in Mexico. Just an FYI. Do you think the science the prosecution used with the cycled cartridge is legit? Yes. If you know anything about how tool marks work, It's not about how you get the tool mark, because remember, we don't know what Richard Allen did to leave his tool marks. We don't know if the gun jammed. We don't know if he misfired. Like, we don't know. So if you don't know how Richard Allen left the tool marks, what difference does it make? But if you understand what tool marks are, they're just like fingerprints. So if you need to take a guy's finger and smash it down so that you can get a match to, whatever, some latent fingerprint that you have, it doesn't matter how you get that match. What matters is that they match. The probability of that happening is astronomical. That's how tool mark evidence works. That's why it's permitted in a court of law. Is it subjective? Well, yeah, just like fingerprints are subjective. We don't know if there's we don't know if there's not another person out there with your exact fingerprint. We don't know that. But the likelihood of it, and that's the point. Uh, it's really small. I'll go the back way through. Yes, it's very tiny. It's basically like 2 neighborhoods cut in half, or one big neighborhood cut down the middle, and then there's a gas station. I don't know, Dark Side. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it. Thanks for hanging out for the live stream. You guys were great. You guys were killing it in the chat. Thanks for supporting my channel, you guys. I appreciate you 3. And all of you who subscribe and become members and send, money to the Cash App. It means more than you guys know. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I like Lauren. I really do. I invited her. She was in town. I think she was out here in Phoenix recently, I think, for the Lori Vallow trial. She might still be out here. But I sent her an email seeing if she wanted to come on the podcast. But I don't know if she got the email or not, or she's just not interested. But it'd be nice to have her over, talk about all these different cases. She's her and her husband, I think that's her husband, they seem to be interested in a lot of the cases that I've been looking into. So I think we would have a good podcast, but never know. Yeah, Lauren and Dr. John. Yeah, I like Hidden True Crime. Very professional. Good presentation too. But either way, guys, that's going to do it for me. You guys have a great night. I really appreciate all of you. Make sure you stay safe. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Van Life, thank you so much for your donation today, your super sticker. I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys again really soon. Thanks again. Take care.